Hello and welcome to For the People TV show. My name is Alfred Bwezani Mwachande and I'm here to welcome you to a podcast, a show that's built around our environment and what's really going on in our world. It's a podcast show that's going to be meant for your interaction and for your joining as well, so we can just get to talk about everything that's happening and what's happening in your communities. Sooner than later, we will invite you to call in and be part of the show. But for today, we just want you to be a part of us by joining us and listening in. So to introduce my panel, I'm not going to actually do that. I'm going to pass it on for everybody to introduce themselves. Welcome to the show. I'll ask my brother to introduce himself.
Thank you very much, bro. My name is Lyris. You can call me Lyris.
And my name is Gani.
So today we're basically just here to just give you an introductory episode on what it is that we're about. We're not restrictive, we're not going to hold ourselves back, we're not holding back our shots. And please note that most of the content that we're going to be placing out here is basically based on our opinions. It's not cast in stone in any books or any stones, but basically it's what's happening and what we're hearing and what we've been seeing around. Today is not as good a day as we wanted it to be, in that just earlier last night we got the information that one of our African leaders, Mr. Magufuli, has since passed away from COVID, which is not so confirmed right now on different platforms. As I saw earlier on BBC, it said that Magufuli passed away for reasons best withheld by the state. I don't know what that is about, but then we're going to get to the bottom of it, because basically there's a lot of conspiracies and theories going on around why Mr. Magufuli had not accepted the COVID situation in his country. My brother, did you hear about Magufuli's dying?
Actually, no, this is when I'm hearing about it. So wait, what you're telling me is that what he was sick of, nobody knows. Did he have like a period when he was sick? What was going on? I'm a bit behind on the whole situation. This is me hearing about it.
So in the tabloids, from what I've been hearing, is that Mr. Magufuli has been not seen on the public scene for the last couple of weeks, about 2 weeks.
No, I hear he's been out of sight since February.
Yes,
They've been hiding.
For about since February, he's been out of sight, he's not been seen.
So that was not mentioned, like he was under, wait, I've forgotten the regular term, which quarantines.
So it could be that
he was him being under quarantine or whatnot.
So from what I'm picking up, it could be that he was in quarantine, especially because like if you looked at last communications, there were so many rumors going around that he had COVID. But then in the beginning, the issue was that Magufuli was not really accepting that there was COVID happening in Tanzania.
So
therefore,
no social distancing.
Exactly. Like in Tanzania, the last couple of years, is it a year and a half maybe, we're now heading to the second quarter of this year, and they still did not observe any COVID regulations. It gives you to wonder, like, why is that so?
I feel like he didn't believe in it because he didn't think COVID was actually real.
Is there like a statement he put out to prove like he was against the whole COVID situation? Because there's a lot of people say it's a conspiracy. I've heard that, and even personally I have my own weird beliefs about it. But what was his take on that? Because obviously for even the World Health Organization to let him do that, probably had a good reason they couldn't even touch.
And you see that, and that's where this confusion all comes from, yeah? Because from what people have been saying, it's like in Tanzania, like a couple of weeks ago, I saw a show where Diamond Platinum was performing, and the stadiums were full up. And I'm not talking about. I'm not even talking about like 100 people.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about
do
1,000
that.
people.
Music
It
can
was
do
a whole stadium fill up, including on the pitch. So now you get to find out that you guys here are panicking. Those guys, they are living their lives. So it's a situation where you tend to wonder, to say, what's going on? And that's where the conspiracy aspect of it is all coming from, because some people are now saying to say his fellow leaders there were observing social distancing, but he was not letting them actually put it into play. We don't know what the World Health Organization said about him. I think a lot of nations have kept quiet about it. But then his death is a sad thing. At the end of the day,
there's a reason to all that fear. Like, okay, me honestly, the fact that this when I'm hearing about it, I'm just now thinking like, seems like there's some fear going on. Why can't they touch him? Because that should be a crime.
That's also
that means he
an
doesn't
opinion.
care about the well-being of the nation, which makes him a poor leader.
He's one of the most prolific leaders that Africa's ever had People say he's the 53rd African leader who has been clear on his stance against corruption. Him going, a lot of people, I've read a few tabloids, I've read a few personal publications.
For money, but not health.
You can imagine, eh? So I've read a bit. I've read about a few publications saying something about his fight against corruption could have been one of the reasons why people would have killed him. So it's also opinionated. It's not something that it's factual, but some people are saying because he was not allowing most of his leaders certain luxuries. Like upon coming into power, he couldn't allow his fellow leaders to basically fly first class. He said it's unnecessary. We're working for the people. Why should we be the ones to fly first class when the people are struggling?
Our president should do that.
Yeah, that would be nice, eh?
Our president should do that. That would be amazing.
So it's unfortunate that he's passed on, but then I hope his fight against corruption and his fight for human rights, because he's been said to also be a human rights activist, continues, because it would be really nice to see African leaders who really care about their fellow African leaders and their fellow Africans. And obviously, come on, if our president could do just the same thing, that he wasn't allowing people to drive fancy cars who are in public service, he wasn't allowing them to fly first class if they are in public service, that would be nice.
That is a bit too unnecessary.
That reminds me of the whole helicopter situation we had recently.
Oh yes. Yeah. Now you see, in that scenario, who is at fault? Is it the people? Is it the person, the owner?
They've got different. Democratic countries have got different laws. Like we all change our constitution and whatnot. But on that part, me personally, I think, of course, people liked it, but I'm not with the idea, because you need to have the freedom to own whatever amounts of money you want. Because what if you've got businesses outside the country? That means you have to be spending your money outside the country. If I want to buy the most expensive car, I can't bring it in my own country.
Yeah,
but if I want to buy my mom the car she's been wanting for,
it's like you're trying to
6
hide the money from the people within your country.
Yeah. And then at the same time, he's the same person who wants corruption to die. I feel like that part will bring corruption in, because you're literally giving people a chance to hide their riches.
But you see, we're the same people who, when somebody bought a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, and we started castigating them and started to talk about them.
Wait, that Bugatti guy was Zambia. As far as I thought people were just making a fuss about it, but as far as I know, isn't he from Congo or something?
Well, the story is out that he's Zimbabwean, but he's got a lot of businesses in Zambia.
He's got a lot of
that's what I know.
I heard he just lives, he's got citizenship in Zambia, but he lives in South Africa. Because the Bugatti is no longer in Zambia. It's gone to South Africa now.
No, the Bugatti changed citizenship.
Could it be because he bought a Bugatti and nobody knows him and he's not a public figure? So now you have to get rid of it, you have to stash it away because your own people will start trying to crucify you.
We've got bad roads in Zambia. That car is very low.
Or it could have been because Zambia has got cheap prices of bringing in second-hand cars into the country. So he used Zambia to bring it into Africa and took it to Zambia.
Decided to ship it off, eh?
That's a smart one.
Well, that could be actually a very good point, you see, because, gosh, where are you going to drive that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a 12-liter V8.
Yeah, we've got humps that almost knee-high.
Humps, you can't even see the guy on the other side. The humps we've got here, some of them, you know what I mean? But then anyway, we will never know. But then we hope the Bugatti will see you soon or something. We hope the facts behind you disappearing shall come to the light. But for now, we would like to keep on going, and we'd like to see you buy your own Bugatti and not be caught by Anti-Corruption Commission to go and explain where you got your money from.
Yeah, I just
because
don't think I would buy a Bugatti. I don't actually like that car.
I would like to know how many people in Zambia actually own planes or jets or anything. Like there's certain places you go. Like I regularly fly in and fly out, and then there's certain times I'm coming in. There's a certain lady I see coming off a plane at 6 in the morning with her kids. And I've flown into the country like maybe 3 times in the morning, like a flight that arrives at 7. And there's a lady taking her kids to school with a plane dropping them off at the airport every morning. But nobody's talking about that. We're just sitting here and we're shooting at a public leader. But maybe because...
Okay, I think with the public leader, it's the fact that he's a leader, and then there's been this thing about money is being stolen and whatnot. So now people are just about, that's the money they're stealing. we get.
Well, it could be that, but then provided, you see, that's the thing. We've got a situation where these people are not really being thrown on the spot.
Uh-huh.
I would like a situation where, come on, people are throwing stacks of cash on videos and stuff. We are seeing these things on social media every day.
But the thing is, if people in government were to show us that they've got money, we would just think they're stealing from the government. So maybe that's why he didn't want ministers to drive fancy cars or show off certain things.
So it's about public service at the end of the day, you see.
Yeah, that's what I was
I think that's what it is. It's like the public should perceive you to be somebody who's working for them. But
Yeah,
then, okay, at the end of the day, who is the boss? Because, of course, we know the money is there. But then you can't expect your boss to be walking barefoot because you are also cleaning the yard.
No, I think that's fine if your boss treats you right. It's different when your boss doesn't pay you enough for the work you're doing, and then you see him flaunting around with money.
Driving Bugattis. And
Yeah, because if I'm relating it to this whole government situation, the economy keeps getting bad. You know, there's all these stories about how bad things are getting. Then you see one of your leaders buying a chopper.
But the other day I heard somebody say something about back in the day, I used to buy a capamela for lunch. Now these days I can afford a 25 kg. It's a flipping of tables. Maybe things are changing. It's just us who are not working hard enough. Maybe it's you that's not doing a good enough job at making yourself better. We don't know.
Okay, that's a short, but my example is relating to the boss thing. The boss thing you said.
No, but all I'm just saying is their defense would be that because I'm in public office, I'm doing ABCD, does not mean I am not achieving my other goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then the public is still going to think you're stealing money from the government, even if you've got successful businesses. I mean, this is Africa.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, we don't know where your money is coming from.
Yeah.
You're a criminal. You see your neighbor tomorrow buys a bicycle. 3 days later, he buys a car.
That's the thing about craving too much privacy. You know what I mean?
And you see that privacy thing, that's something that just keeps lingering. Already we've got some regulations that are going to be brought on our cyber security if this bill passes.
What's the story with that?
Oh, it's just some regulations pretty much. Some countries have instigated some regulations on cyber security. It's basically like an issue to do with internet, like the biggest justification I think that exists would be the issue of internet bullying, cyberbullying. We get people coming online and posting irrelevant data or unverified news and stuff.
But you see, I think we have the freedom to do that, but
Isn't
just
that what
not infringe
social
other
media is
people. Yeah,
about?
just not infringe other people's rights.
Exactly.
But then with this rule which is coming in, it's like we're being monitored by. Yeah.
Oh, sometimes we might allude it to freedom of speech, but then sometimes people tend to say it might be freedom of speech, but then what right do you have to post something about me?
Well, what right do I have to say something about you that's not real right now?
Well, you do not.
But can you stop me from doing it?
Well, I cannot, and that's the thing.
So
Then that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to regulate you posting something about
they
me.
should put up some consequences and not stop people from
because
speaking
now
what they want.
people are
These
going
days,
to stop using.
COVID situation has been around. People are barely meeting, so the best they have to communicate is like that. And then some of them they enjoy, like, okay, I'll tell everyone about this in this way.
While we're still talking about that COVID situation thing, I'd just like to find out, like, your personal life. How has COVID affected you?
Well, it's affected me because I've got family and friends who are hella paranoid about it, like they're seriously paranoid, and I feel like it's too much sometimes. I know I've heard stories about people dying of COVID. I've seen that on screens. It's real. It was brought to us for, well, most people, that's the conspiracy part. Most people believe it was just made for us. They're trying to control the population, especially this second wave, that it was meant for Africans and whatnot. But me, the only way it's affected me is it's affected income for me personally.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, trust me, it's terrible because, you know, there are people who are by, okay, let me do this for you. We do this deal. They'll be like, no, let's wait until this COVID situation comes down. What if it never comes down?
What if it's here to stay?
Yeah, you know what
And
I
if
mean?
it comes down, how does it come down?
Yeah, so me mainly, it's just affected me how people around me react to it. It's sort of over the top. Or maybe it's just the people in my circle, but it's sort of over the top.
Oh, so it could be an issue of your circle, your environment and stuff. Yeah. And you, Kanizani, how has COVID affected you, man?
I don't think it's affected me in any way. I'm still doing what I was doing before COVID.
No change, huh?
Because like where I stay, almost everyone in the house has gotten COVID, but then no one's serious about it. We're still allowed to move around and go wherever we want.
Are you saying
Wait,
you got
so
COVID?
you had COVID?
No, I don't know.
But you've had it before.
So you've actually
I
experienced
think I've had it before, but I'm not too sure.
It wasn't a flu, because the symptoms are the same. You can't do it.
It was I had a cough, a fever, a flu, but then I'm okay now.
So what was it called when you have all the symptoms of COVID before COVID?
Chifo.
Because
That's
even me,
Chifo.
I've had this situation where I've got a flu, I'm coughing, I've got this bad fever, terrible headache, my throat is whistling and whatnot. But that was way before COVID. And here we are, now it's called COVID.
I think maybe it's just a conspiracy, but I think that COVID has just been put into our heads. I think it's been there, but then because we know there's COVID, that's when people are starting to get scared of it. It's been here for a long time.
That's a different.
Well, I'll basically just look at it in a different angle, because like you said, you had all the symptoms, but then there's some people who have actually had the symptoms and have ended up being diagnosed with it, and they've ended up in hospital and stuff.
Yes.
A typical example would be like my mom. My mom ended up on oxygen. I think at that point I tend to have fallen back and realized, say, this might affect you if you're not watching out for it. Yes. It might take you out. But then also there's been the issues of underlying factors and everything else. But then the one thing I personally could never say is it doesn't exist. Because that's one thing that I personally have accepted. It does exist. Ever since COVID hit, I have a few businesses I've been running. I have a few businesses I used to run. And some of them are about to die out because
of COVID.
You can't keep sustaining, paying for stuff, and then you're paying salaries, and then there's no money coming in basically on that business. I run an entertainment-based type of business, so look at it like this. I have a guy who works for me. He's a DJ. Luckily, it's just his part-time gig. But on a regular Monday to Friday, he's working somewhere. But whenever I need him to come through and do something for me, he shows up. Yeah. But then when COVID hit, I'm talking about a whole maybe 9-10 months without any proper income.
So he didn't have gigs, he didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so terrible. If it's for music artists, there's that time where events were cancelled. Yeah. No group meetings. People were going to church on social media.
You can imagine, this is the only time on earth when we've been told to not go to church. And people say the COVID is from the devil. It's that bad. You know what I mean? It's like, I've experienced it in a different limelight. I've lost a few friends. If I have to count, I think they wouldn't fit on two hands. I've lost a few friends to COVID. So it's been quite a tough scenario to live with, especially the fact that you go to certain places and people are just living their lives and it's normal. And then you go to certain places like for instance, Tanzania, it was normal.
Yeah, it's like there was no COVID.
There was no COVID. But then here, hospitals are filled up. For a while, I used to think it was a story, and then until people close to me started having it, and then it became life-threatening.
Me, the conspiracy that made sense to me is the same one I was talking about earlier.
About
fact that
the world
it's
population?
Yeah. Yeah, and then like for us, Zambia specifically, I was looking at it this way. There's this Chinese doctor who came out and said something relating to Bill Gates about, he knew about the whole plans of that COVID is going to be created, and then I think she was in court. I don't know if she ended up being arrested over the whole situation.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that. Yeah.
So I was looking at it this way, like for us Zambia, we're just getting involved in this long time enmity between China and the United States.
Yeah.
Of course, our biggest relationship right now is China. You see that? So me, that's why it made sense to me. So I was like, okay, yeah, it is real, but I'm believing the fact that it was created for a reason. It's not something that came up natural.
Yeah, it was created in a lab and broke out.
Like Captain America.
He's a superhero. But this time it's Thanos who's come back and he's
very
trying to
good,
help
yeah.
us out. Yeah, well, it could be one of those things. But then, anyway, it's just me asking how you guys have been affected, how you're relating with it now.
Yeah.
How is the whole masking up situation every time you're getting out of the car and going
I've got a
anywhere?
bad situation that happens to me almost every day. Sometimes I forget my mask and I can't enter my workplace without a mask.
So you just call in sick.
Nah, one time I just lied to the security guard that I just came out, I left it in the office.
Well, at least you got in.
Yeah, but of late at least it's been somewhat controlled. Or maybe it's the weather, because I hear it drops when it's
It
hot.
affects people when it's very
When
cold.
temperatures
Yeah.
really drop, eh?
So yeah, for the goodness of everyone who's trying to believe what I was saying, they just should be careful with this cold season that's coming up. Or it might be
Yeah.
worse.
At the end of the day, everybody, you need to take care of yourselves.
Mask.
This thing is real. Mask up. It might not affect you. It might affect you. It doesn't matter who you are, but then just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about, hey, when did you finish your grade 12, Mama?
I finished in 2019.
In 2019. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you?
It's 19.
He hasn't even had time to be in society and enjoy himself.
Where am I? When do
COVID
you-
just came after it just finishes.
when do you?
And you, my man.
I finished in 2011.
Oh, really? Making me feel like an old man right now.
Wow.
When did
What
you
you're about to say
finish?
90 what?
I know,
Into the year I was
2005, man. So I completed in 2005, so it's been like quite some time, 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years.
And how's your grade 12 certificate looking, man?
It was terrible at first. I had
Are
to-
you eligible to stand as a minister?
I don't think so, because I had to rewrite my math and science. I don't think so. I heard someone was telling me about the fact that if you rewrite, you can't get a certificate unless you combine them and whatnot.
But isn't that the whole purpose of rewriting? I think it's to combine. So I think you can stand as a minister now.
Oh, that's perfect. So I'm gonna give it a shot on the next elections, not this time.
2021 came too close, eh? And are you eligible to stand as a minister?
Yes, I am eligible to stand for
Would you
as,
do it
as a
too?
minister. I didn't take ECZ, I took Cambridge. So I don't know if I'm still eligible to use.
I think all they need is like a qualification good enough to go to university at the end of the day. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Because, well, the rumors that some people out there who are leading in government
Don't
are not
have-
eligible
yeah.
to read and write.
You know,
I don't know. I'd like to.
story was funny. Okay, why are they bringing it up now? That's what I want to find out. Like for the ECZ specifically, why are they bringing it up now? And I would like to get this clearance from you and you as well, because I've been hearing rumors about the late Sata, that he ended his grade school in 9th grade. I don't know how true that is. Any info?
Oh, I haven't heard about the man.
Yeah,
But
that's what I keep hearing for years.
maybe
now.
it's something for the viewers to find out. You know, like, hey, check up on him, find out which school was he at and what grade did he finish in.
It was one of these UPND guys, like I think that was yesterday. It's so bad that he had to post his grade 12 certificate, took a picture of it, posted it on social media.
I've actually been seeing a couple of people posting the grade 12 certificates. I
What,
think
aspiring ministers?
not necessarily the ministers, like the mayor of Kabwe Town. Well, I went to school with him. He's been like an older brother to me. I haven't met with him in a while, but Prince Chileshe was a really close friend when I was in school. He was my head boy actually, and he posted his 12 points on social media because he just wanted to clarify that he's worthy of the results.
mayor.
He's worthy of being in a position that will make decisions that will affect all of us. And I saw even, I think, Maino posted his grade 12 certificate. And he's got like 6 points or something. I don't know. But I think I saw something circulating.
For real, huh?
But then it's subject to verification. I saw something, but
Yeah, it's subject to verification for you to stand to be elected.
But what's your take on it? What's your take on the matter, though?
You know, I think this was brought when we had the 2016 elections to kick out a certain individual from running for presidency. But then now it's come back to haunt the people
Who actually put it in place, eh?
Yeah, taste of your own medicine.
No, because I remember there was a lot of time. There was a time when there was a lot of reforms going around on ECZ qualifications, specifications, and the likes. And for real, I think, in as much as it has come back to haunt some of the people, this is something that was necessary.
Yeah.
Because come on, guys, we can't have leaders who go up to international tables
representing us,
and then they are talking 1 million, 2 million, and 376,000. That is
proper English.
You know what I mean?
So those guys have like.
Ubaba
coaches
Wadu
when they're
Duzane, he
practicing
made a
press.
name because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also just an issue of, come on, you need a certain basic, I think, level of education to make decisions that are going to affect
And I feel
a
like
whole
Grade 12
general
is pretty
populace.
much fair.
But then, if this law was passed on in 2016, I've got a question for the viewers. How come certain individuals were allowed to enter the positions they're in now?
Without,
Yeah.
yeah, viewers, please let us know. We would like to know, like, really, like, what happened? You voted, maybe it's your fault.
Yeah, about that. Okay, but me, I'm sort of a bit ashamed. No offense to your friends who posted their grade 12 certificates on social media. I feel like people's talk should not get you to that level, because from the generation I grew up in, that's confidential. Now, because people say this, and that, if you're supposed to prove to the ECZ that you have that paper, take it there. Don't post it on social media. What are the people going to do with it?
They want the people to know that they did actually
Well,
get
if you
there.
do, if you get elected, people know like, oh, they allowed him, so he's.
Yeah, but they just want you to be aware of the results. they
You know
get.
how it is,
I
you
wouldn't
know.
do that.
You
I'm
know,
just saying I wouldn't do
sometimes I'm not pointing out any names, but sometimes it's like people want you to know that yes, this person does not qualify, and so for the reasons that if he wants to challenge us to say he qualifies, let's put ours here. Let's see what he'll do.
Living for validation.
Exactly. That's a social media life, isn't it? Where you have to post when you have a proper meal, when you have hors d'oeuvres, when you have like.
And you're flying around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you can't get on a plane anymore without having to post pictures.
Yeah, that time a friend of mine was pointing out one of the people he follows, like, I've never seen this guy post an ugly picture. I'm like, he probably has a bunch of them, but he makes sure he only posts when he's got a good one.
I'll tell you the same thing about me. Most of the photos in my phone are not even worthy posting, so people haven't seen me on social media in a long time.
Alright,
Not
so,
because I'm not there.
okay, then can I dare you to do something?
Please try.
What's today? Today is Thursday.
Today is Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. I want from today to at least the beginning of the week, being Sunday, take a selfie first thing in the morning and post it. No matter how you look like, just when you wake up, post it. See what that will do.
My wife and kids would denounce me. My wife's relatives will just be like, hey,
Oh, yeah,
mana
now
chipe
it's
zako
different. You
utichi.
don't have to wear makeup and whatnot.
You know, kai handsome ni patumba, but you know, COVID, yaononga tumba. But then anyway, you know, it's one of those things where I just think I think the move for the grade 12 certificate, the move for everything, I think it's worth it, because it's time we had people who can represent us and speak proper English on a platform that is necessary. We need some proper international recognition. That's from my opinion.
In the English classes now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Your grade 12 certificate is not valid if you've got no English.
Yeah,
And if you're just reading to just pass the exam, it is a code.
Yeah, another thing about these grade 12 certificates is you've been in grade 12. There was leakages when writing.
No, but during my time, people hated everything that happened in 1005 regarding exams.
For real, it was terrible for you guys.
No, but then it was about time.
There was, so that means
What
there's people
feruka
with the
tiferuke.
paper, but not the knowledge.
Exactly.
But do
That's
you
the point
think
I'm trying
they still have time to go and do GCE, or it will be too late for them to?
And now it's too late.
Well, GCE they write in July. So
in July?
is it July or is it June? But
June.
during that period, yeah. So
And then when do the results come out?
I think. Oh, I need to check on that. But
Elections
I
are
think
in
like
August.
after.
I think it's too late.
It's not too. I don't think they have enough time to go and combine. Unless wachayama extra lessons GCE. Yorembera kunyumba.
But when there's material,
Wapangile cheya ku material. But then the other thing I wanted to bring you guys all up to is like, look at you guys, looking all fresh and smart and all that. If I'm even feeling like I'm dressed in the wrong way, man.
Untuck, please.
Yeah, no, but if I attack, pot belly ngagwele famosi. Just there's the fashion thing that's going on around.
Oh, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, how's that going?
He's the one that put me on to that.
Hey, Zambian fashion.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Outlaw what?
There's a new brand which is coming up called Outlaw CM. CM or ZM, something like that.
CM,
What does the
actually.
CM stand for? Actually?
I'm not sure. I think
Clothing
it's
material.
Clothing manufacturer.
That's too cliche. Actually. I hope not.
I hope the name doesn't matter at the end of the day. Hoping the product is good enough.
You see, the thing
Well.
is, the products are good enough, but then they've just come into the fashion sector with outrageous prices. No one's going to buy them if they want to make money from.
Well, that's another way of looking at it. But then also, I looked at their website. The website looks quite healthy.
It looks healthy.
It's well, the cheapest thing you can find there is for 630 kwacha.
Which is a
Which
head soap.
just a head soak, yeah. I don't know which kind of winter we're expecting for 630
The
kwacha.
COVID one.
I don't know which yeah, COVID head soak, okay? When the time comes, it comes with its own mask. But then yeah, so I was looking at their page. I was seeing some pretty nice jumpers there and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, is it a prestigious brand?
It is. I was on Twitter, and I think the CEO of Outlaw CM said it's a high-end brand. But the thing is, he's trying to target the Zambian market, which really isn't going to buy a hoodie for 2,000, 3,000 kwacha. So he needs to be realistic with his prices, even though it is a high-end brand.
Like good design is washe kacheo kayubuna cheo kaisi over the chairs.
I wish we had one of them, because another thing I like to point out a lot about fashion is material. Because to me,
Quality,
because
exactly.
to me, I was looking at their thing. They look like they just buy specific blank material, hoodies, t-shirts, and just do something on them, add their name on it. Because there's nothing special with the designs, like the tailoring. There's nothing special about that. I could get a plain hoodie that looks exactly like that.
I must admit though that was my biggest concern. You see, back in the day,
nice, but you don't know the material.
there was an issue about Salaula having like the most genuine products and whatnot. Now these days, when you're going up the flyover bridge, you find guys carrying track pants and whatnot, and then you're looking at Adidas. It's printed inside. It's got another brand, and you're like, what on earth is going on here? Yeah, you know what I mean. Adidas, two stripes on it. It's a three-stripe brand, and then you've got two stripes on it. How does that work? You see,
especially the slides.
Yeah, so you get to wonder to say, okay. So is this stuff that's pre-designed for them, or is it stuff that's just already printed? They just buy and print on it. It's all questionable.
Yeah,
I would like somebody who's actually bought this brand to just come up to us, show us something.
The same question, do you know anyone who's bought this?
I think
head soap, whatever it is.
I think I know someone, but then right now we can't contact them. That's it.
We can't contact them, but I would like to find out quality and whatnot. And so I was asking you earlier, like, how many people have you seen posting pictures of them wearing that brand?
That's the thing. I haven't seen anyone post a picture of them wearing that brand.
So far, it looks like they're not selling, but it's too early to say. How long has it been?
It's been a week.
It's been about a week and a half now.
So, like being a business-minded person, I'm wishing the owner of the brand luck.
Don't get me wrong, I want him to flourish, but then this is Zambia. The reasons why Gucci, Versace
haven't opened chain stores here. Gentlemen, it has been nice coming through. It has been nice meeting with you guys today, so we can just introduce our flow of activities. So far, we talked about how Magufuli's death might affect us and how we wish COVID would have just never come. Some people would like it not to have ever existed. We've talked about our grade 12 certificates. I would like not to disclose my number of points.
Don't you want to say 12?
Me, 12. And then on top of that all, I like the interaction, I like the introduction, I like the fact that we're looking at quality and supporting local businesses. In as much as we had a situation in this past week where one of our local businesses was being shut down, I think this is more of a ladies' topic. Next time we have a lady over, maybe we hope she can shed more light on that. But then at the end of the day, we're the type of people who like to support fellow Zambian businesses. We've got Zambian businesses back, and we would like to see everybody do well in their lives. At the end of the day, this has been For the People. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for watching us, and thank you for listening. My names have been Fred Bwezani Mwachande.
Lewis.
Gani.
Thank you. Gani Zani and Lewis.
Him or the camera? The camera.
At the end of the day, thank you for your time. We'd like to see you again next time.